مرحبا، كيف حالكم؟ احنا ستون هيل كرو بدنا نعمل بودكاست يعني ديفرنت ستايل على الاشياء اللي كنا نعملها زمان. مش انه بدنا نقعد نحكي لكم انه لازم تعمل هيك ولازم تعمل هيك. رح نختار موضوع كل اسبوع ونحكي فيه ونشوف كل كوتش شو وجهة نظره بهذا الموضوع. ممكن تتعلموا اشي جديد وممكن احنا نتعلم من بعض وتشوفوا كيف كل واحد منا بفكر بطريقة مختلفة. اول حلقة بدنا نحكي فيها على النيوتريشن، اوكي، لانه موضوع كتير مهم. احنا بنشوفه يمكن اهم موضوع للكل، خصوصا الكل بده يمكن ينزل وزن، بده يزيد وزن، او الكل منكم بستنى نيوتريشن تشالنج مشان ياخذ معلومات. فهيك هذا بعطيكم معلومات كتير، راح تشوفوا كل واحد منا عنده وجهة نظر مختلفة يعني او طريقة مختلفة بعمل الدايت، وكلها بتعطي good results. فاول شيء نحكي نيوتريشن هو كتير مهم لانه هو البيس تبع كل شيء بنعمله. يعني اذا انت بتتدرب كل يوم وما عم بتشوف ريزلتس، على الاغلب راح تكون نيوتريشن. النيوتريشن بتعمله باليوم مينيموم 3 مرات، التمرين يمكن 4 مرات بالاسبوع. فالنيوتريشن اهميته كتير اكبر من التدريب، واذا كنتوا عم تعملوا في اشي غلط في النيوتريشن ما راح تشوفوا الريزلتس بدكم اياها، سواء بيرفورمانس، سواء تنحفوا، سواء تضخموا. فإلها دور كتير كبير في حياتنا اليومية. وكتير ناس بتشوف هلا 1500 دايت على الانترنت، بفتح انستغرام بس بشوف 10 كل واحد منهم بيعمل دايت. واحد بيحكي كيتو، واحد بيحكي اتكنز، واحد بيحكي زون، واحد بيحكي بس ايت كلين. فراح نفوت بهاي التفاصيل كلياتها وتشوفوا كل واحد منا شو هلا عم بيعمل بالنسبة للدايت. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Isaac, switch to Isaac and see like what have you been doing lately, and what do you think about nutrition? How do you approach it? Just tell us about it, bro.
So lately I've actually been trying to look at nutrition a little bit differently than I have in the past. And I think a lot of times there's a lot of people there are talking about, you know, like what kinds of food to eat, you know, when to eat it, you know. And I think what might be something that's like not as important, I think I listened to a guy, his name is Julian Pinot, and he's Strong Fit, so he works with Invictus.
I hate Invictus on the record.
So he has his own separate thing, but he works with like their athletes to help different things. And he talks about this thing basically like state versus function. So what state you're in, like what state your body's in neurologically, matters more, just as much if not more than the things you're eating and when you're eating. So basically our bodies have 2 different nervous systems. There's one nervous system with 2 different states, okay? And you're always leaning to one or the other a little more. One is the sympathetic state, which is fight or flight. Okay? So that's so we're in this state when we're working out, right?
If you're working out, that's called?
Sympathetic. You're in a sympathetic state. Okay? And so basically this state, what happens to this state is that your body puts all blood flow goes away from organ, like your like digestive system and all that
your
stuff.
Muscles.
So non-essentially, it takes away everything that's non-essential and puts them into your skeletal muscle, right?
Yes.
It goes so basically it happened like so back in the day, right? We're like trying to like hunt down a gazelle, right? Or we're trying to
on foot.
On foot, hunting a gazelle or setting a trap or running from a lion or a bear or something. And our body switches to sympathetic because right
you
now
will definitely be sympathetic when you're running from
exactly right. Like you're not worried about say you're like in the middle of eating something, and then like an animal comes to interrupt your meal, and now like it wants you to become the meal, and so right then your body shuts like it doesn't want to worry about the burrito you just ate. It's got to get away from this thing. It'll digest the food later. Okay, so that's why it'll switch from a sympathetic state, right? And in the state of eating, on the other side of that pendulum is your parasympathetic state, which is rest and digest. Okay.
So that's after you manage to escape from the lion.
Sure. After
you're in your cave.
Yes, you're safe.
Yes.
You're with your family, and you guys are calm. And now your body's like, I can digest this food.
Okay.
Right. I'm gonna calm down.
So how does that
necessary
affect
repair.
like what you eat?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So I'd say like if say like you are trying to eat complex food,
Okay.
which is like say a piece of broccoli or like a steak or something that's not super easy for your body to break down. It takes time.
Yeah.
Right. Your body's not gonna absorb that food correctly if you're eating in a sympathetic state, because sympathetic state, it's a pendulum, right? We're always like leaning toward one side or the other.
So-
we can get into a sympathetic state by being stressed out.
Like meaning if
Right.
I like eat and come work out immediately, my body won't absorb the food and
Sure.
the nutrients that
Yes.
I did.
That's why we have things like, that's why they kind of invent things like pre-workout shakes or intra-workout
difference
shakes.
between,
It's
yeah.
not like they don't recommend like, hey, eat a plate of broccoli and like cucumbers in the middle of your workout.
Yeah.
Your body's not gonna break that down.
Yeah.
You might actually or you ever feel that feeling where you're like, if you eat something and then you're like, I don't feel like
Yeah.
I want to throw up, or like
Sit well.
just like it doesn't sit well,
Yeah.
like right here, it feels like it's having a problem digesting.
I always have that.
So
Like I ate
that is not always because of what you ate,
because
because the state of
The
which
state
your
your
body
body
is
is
in, so you're eating. So like I think there's a point is like there's a lot of ways we can get into that. Like that maybe is a whole nother podcast like on itself of like your nervous system.
but
and
that's what you're trying to think of
think
now.
of like I'm trying to
this
think of
is
like, hey, I need to calm down, eat my food, like be here with my food. Try to eat meals with people, because that's actually the way we've like been like sort of created to like make like to eat in groups of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
That's when we're the most calm. Like we're talking, right?
Totally.
My guard is down. We're chilling. We're like hanging out, like laid back. And I can digest and eat this food right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on my phone scrolling through Instagram, getting hits of dopamine like from Instagram, or like thinking about like, oh, like this thing I gotta do tomorrow, getting
Damn, it's so interesting.
yeah, so getting stressed
Crazy.
out about the thing affects the way we digest our food. So like we want to be in a sympathetic, because that's when it goes into our sort of rest digest.
Nice.
Especially when we're eating those because like when you're running, again, another example is like when they're running marathons, right?
Yeah.
Those little gel packet things.
Yeah.
Those aren't healthy. Like that's
Yeah.
not like a healthy
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's just pure sugar in a
Yeah.
packet, right? But that's easy for my body to digest.
Yeah.
And when you're running like 100-mile marathon, like an
Yeah.
ultra marathon,
I need it.
you're in a sympathetic state, but you need fuel.
Yeah.
So at that moment, that's the best thing for your body to eat.
Sure.
You're not like chowing that down every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like in the moment, because your body's sympathetic, that's one of the only things that's going to be
Yeah.
able to digest like in that
Yes.
time. So that's just what I've been kind of like thinking about lately, is like when I eat my food and when I'm eating, the good food, sort of like clean food. And
So let's just
when-
explain, like, we
Yeah.
haven't explained what clean food
Yeah.
is. Like, in your state, you know what you're going to eat, right?
Sure.
But, like, most people just don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So, even if you're going, like, to pick a good time for your meal, if you had a bad meal, if you don't know what you're eating,
It
then
still
it doesn't
affects
work.
It still matters. Yeah.
It matters,
The
but
quality
like-
matters for sure. Like
Yeah, the
kind of
quality,
food
yeah.
so
if I have
matters, yeah.
McDonald's at, like,
Yeah.
a resting and
Yeah, sure. It's still
conversational
bad.
place,
Yeah.
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 My belly's just gonna get bigger, like, because I'm just resting with my friends. You know what I mean? So I think we have to explain, like, to people what clean food is, and like clean food is just real food that doesn't have like labels on it, expiration dates,
Totally.
meat, vegetables, milk, eggs, the olives, whatever. Like that's real food, okay? But processed food that you like, it like starts its life in a package and ends like rotten, and that's not real food, okay? Even if it says whole wheat or like organic, whatever. If it's organic, it's probably should be grown at a farm, not in a package. You know what I mean? So you should probably start with like eating clean food.
Definitely.
Eat from like Sarah, like yeah, Sarah does that. So Sarah, what do you eat?
I'm
Like,
not doing any diet or something. Just like I eat clean food, or it's like
Real food.
I try to eat just like 3 meals full of protein, low carbs, more vegetables and fruits. I try just like stop eating things with full of sugar because I really like sweets. So it's it's like I keep it easy for me. Just like I have focused on my protein intake, veggies, nuts, some nuts, not the whole bucket of nuts. It's like people will say nuts, just like go and get a pocket full of nuts. So I guess this is easier if you are just like, you can do a diet for a whole month or 2 months, then you can start doing this because it's a lifestyle. It's hard just like to stick with the diet for more than 2 months.
Totally.
So you're doing your diet for 1 month or something?
2 months, yeah. I've been doing the keto diet for 2 months, but I agree with you.
You do it for 2 months or more?
Yeah, you can, but it's really restrictive. Like, it's hard.
It sucks. I've been doing it for a week, and like I think part of my soul like left.
Yeah, kind of what she's saying is like the lifestyle and how well you stick to what you're eating is the only correlation of like results. Like, you can do the most nerdy diet ever, and if you don't stick to it, it's not gonna work. So
Sure.
yeah.
So it's just like يعني احنا هون بهاي البلد كتير صعب انه نختار دايت ونضلنا موجودين عليه.
لأنه بدك تطلع مع أصحابك، بدك تطلع مع أهلك.
فإنه مش نحرم حالنا، يعني نقدر ناكل مرة بالأسبوع مثلا. اهلنا طبخين اشي زاكي بنقدر ناكل منه بس جزء قليل منه، يعني ما بنقدر نحط صحن رز كبير، بناخذ بارت صغير منه، بناخذ البارت الثاني اشي يكون احسن لنا. فمش تحرم حالك، بس حاول انك انت تختار لك كواليتي اوف فود اللي حاسسها انها هي الصح والمناسبه. كيف نقدر نعرف شو الكواليتي اوف فود اللي هي احسن لنا بعد ما احنا نختار دايت؟ يعني just like I said before for 1 month or 2 months نجرب نقرا عن انواع الدايت.
I think
there's no discipline in it.
Like start with like a detailed diet that's actually hard to follow. You know what I mean? And that like macros or like keto or something like that.
Yeah.
Then you start like having some knowledge about good food and bad food. Okay. So you can like ask any of us. That's number one. To recommend a diet or find anything online. Like if you write healthy diet on Google, okay, 2 millions.
They're all like, pretty much the same.
200 grams of chicken breast, 100 grams of rice, and 2 like tomatoes and 1 cucumber. You will have you will see that every single time on diets. Breakfast 3 eggs. 3 egg whites, whatever. It's easy, okay? So stick to a diet like Sarah said for a month so you can gain some knowledge first. If you have zero idea what you're doing, okay? If you're like a train wreck. And then after that, I think it's a lifestyle should be like Sarah's lifestyle. Okay?
And it helps too. It helps to just build in discipline. Like, it's hard to just switch to like, now I'm gonna like know when to say yes and no. And like know what to do. It's better to start and force yourself to say no to things. Force yourself to think about what you're eating more until you've built in patterns.
And if you have a bad day and you just ate ice cream 3 times in a row, you just like know that you did bad today. The rest of the week I should eat clean. Okay. You will just it will be natural.
You're trying to like keep that 80-20 rule, right?
80-20,
80% of the time, I'm gonna eat very clean. 20% of the time, I can.
Right.
And you don't feel guilty about that 20%.
Yeah, because food too, it's like it's fuel and it's for recovery, but it's also like entertainment. You know, like it's also a way we connect with people. Like we enjoy pizza, we enjoy ice cream, and it's good to like God made food to be enjoyed. Like He gave us taste buds, and it's important to remember that and not like kill yourself if you have crepes for breakfast.
As I always say, a good meal will not make you very healthy and fit, and bad meal will not make you fat or obese or something.
It's not about the one meal.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Maybe we should like give like because like we gave this like recommendations, like maybe we could all give like one recommendation.
Before that, like I want to say that there's a lot of arguments. Okay.
Sure.
You have us, like when you talk about nutrition, when you go to a doctor, for example, you're not going to argue with the doctor, okay? If you have a heart disease, he knows better, you don't know anything about heart, okay? So when he says that, you're going to just listen to him, okay? Even if he's wrong. But with nutrition and internet, first you have your coaches. Some of them come from a bodybuilding background, okay? Have certain diets. Some of them come from a CrossFit background, gymnastics background, endurance, basketball, whatever. Each one of them have different diets, and then you have different like certification, different schools of nutrition, and there's like 5 million nutritionists in Jordan alone. Okay, so there is no good diet or correct diet for every single one.
Yes.
Okay, clean food will
that's 80% of it.
That's 80%. But if you want to be like a champion, okay, then you might have allergies to some kind of food.
Yeah.
You need to test that. Okay, and you might need to increase your fat, other than other people. If you want to gain some weight, whatever. Exactly. So don't like hear one single thing or read one article, and then come say, you know what, zone is bad, and just generalize it. Paleo is bad. Keto is bad. Okay, it works for some people, and like Wes said, if it works for you, a diet is like something that if you can follow it and it produces results, then it's a good diet. You can't argue with that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it's like, and like health versus like
performance.
Health versus performance,
or health versus even aesthetics. Like
if you want to look like really good, like if you have 3.5% body fat, you're not going to be able to do good in conditioning workouts.
No.
You're going to have great physique, but if you do Fran with 3.5% body fat, you're not going to perform good.
3.5% body fat, walking up the stairs is pretty hard. Like doing anything is like insane.
You need 2 hours to recover.
Yes, but like some people, like some bodybuilders can like get to that low percentage in a healthy, like eating healthier foods, but obviously you're restricting your diet.
But
you can
before competition,
just because somebody looks good doesn't mean they're like.
Before competitions, I've seen some of them. They go get a drip. They go to the hospital. Pass out on stage.
They're
like,
so weak.
Exactly.
So, what do you have for breakfast?
What do I have for breakfast? Usually eggs. If I'm lucky, I have avocado. But yeah, my diet is called the ketogenic diet, and essentially it's a high-fat, adequate protein, low carbohydrate diet. So I'm getting 70% most days of my calories from fat, which seems like a ton. And to me, it like goes against everything like I've known. The reason I got on this diet, I had a couple friends I was staying with in the States, and they wanted to try it. My friend's wife wanted to lose some belly fat or something like that. And I was just part of I was living with them for a few weeks, so I thought like I would try it with them since she was cooking all the meals and stuff like that. But essentially what it does, it switches your main fuel source from sugar to fat.
So why you're not getting fat?
No, totally, it's crazy. Like it forces your body to burn fat instead of sugar because you have no glucose stored in your body. So my diet's crazy. It's a lot of meat and a lot of fat. The diet, restricts all carbohydrates outside of vegetables, so it's pretty extreme. I can't eat
excluding potatoes, which is a vegetable.
Rice or potatoes?
Potatoes, rice, bread, like any of the big staples, like they're not part of my diet. Fruit, done.
I've been doing this for like a week now.
Doing great.
I think I lost some body fat, but it sucks. Like
it's
you do
hard.
not enjoy any of me personally. I've not enjoyed any meal. I'm addicted to potatoes.
Yeah. So Basil's diet going into keto looked different than my diet. I had less of those things in my diet to begin with. He's going through somewhat of like a withdrawal, adjusting to it. I transitioned pretty well, but I like the diet. I didn't get on it for fat loss. It was just like I was living at that house and wanted to research, I guess, and see what it's like. But honestly, like I feel full like all the time. Obviously I'm missing some foods and like I'll see something and want to have it.
We just sent Instagram posts to each other.
It's
of donuts and ice cream. So it's sad. Like keto is sad. Okay.
And honestly, I like it. Or I'd be off it, but like I feel full. Like I have to remind myself to eat sometimes because I have so much just like satiation and like I have so much fat in my system. I just feel like more
fat
full.
Satiates you.
Makes you feel full. You don't want to just keep eating.
The fat makes you like with because it raises omega-6 in your body so much. You'll still you'll keep feeling like that you want to throw up.
Sometimes me and Basil will get a bag of cashews.
Yes, that's bad.
It's a mistake.
Yeah.
We'll go through it in like half hour, like a kilo.
So yeah, but I think like in a week I feel like I lost some weight, and you've definitely like leaned out since you started.
Yeah.
So it definitely works for losing weight. 100% it works.
Yeah.
So that's an example of a diet that people might not like or recommend.
Yeah.
But it produces results whether you like it or not.
Yeah, it gives results, but yeah, like what we were talking about earlier, like it may not be sustainable for a lot of us. I think the lifestyle I have, live by myself. Well, I live with Isaac, but I cook a lot for myself, so I'm able to control my food more. But yeah, it's super restrictive. Like your friends go out to whatever for tacos, and you're like, I can't have like beans, I can't have rice, I can't have tortillas. Like, what am I gonna eat?
Yeah.
So in that way, like I don't think I'll stay on it.
For me,
I'll
it's
get
going
off
to be
at
a
some point.
1 month.
Yeah, and then I'll transition back onto eating how it was before.
Yeah.
But yeah, with diets like that, like we said earlier, 90% of diets are the same, and then there's that random 10% like keto, which is like restricts a whole food group. Like it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Or
But
like paleo, same thing.
Yeah.
Paleo where it restricts all like grains plus all dairy.
Yeah.
So,
big food
yeah.
groups.
Big food groups, yes.
So yeah.
That's a bit hard to follow. Like these diets are harder to follow
Restricted
for sure.
diets.
than just even doing macros,
Yeah.
where like you
Yeah,
can have
sure.
carbs, fat, and protein.
Yeah.
Sort of like flexible dieting.
Flexible.
Yeah.
It's like a bit easier.
Totally. Yeah.
Easy,
Yeah.
just like
I think like one thing that another thing that like transcends most diets, like it's all in, is recording, like having a season, like a week, 2 weeks of just like you're not on a diet yet. You're just recording the foods you eat.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're just like taking a picture of your food, or you're keeping a food
There's
journal.
like apps now.
Yeah,
easy,
MyFitnessPal,
like,
right? And it's like that's a good practice to do quarterly, even if you're like not gonna go on like a real diet. Just look at what you're eating, because like a lot, because like guarantee like most people, like when you ask them about nutrition, what do they say? It's like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you go into the details, like, hey, what did you drink this morning? I had tea. How many spoons of sugar were in that tea?
Sure. It's like
3. And then I had 3 other cups of tea.
Yeah.
Each one of them had 2
Right. Yeah.
spoons of sugar.
Still didn't have water yet.
So, like,
yeah.
So, even if you're eating all day clean, 6 spoons of sugar a day, you're cultured, you're done.
And then people just like don't know what they're eating. So like even like me, I remember like the first time I did one of these diets, just keeping track of like getting on the thing and being like, oh my gosh, I ate like whatever. Like I had to, it's supposed to be like a regular meal should be in like somewhere in the ballpark of like 2,500 calories a day. And I was just looking on it, I was like, man, I'm eating closer to like 3,000 something calories, and most of it's coming from like fat. Because it's like, and not that it's like fat's bad, but it's just like I was eating a lot of like, I was eating more fast food than I thought I was eating. You know, like it's those like driving home late night, you look at McDonald's like, oh, that looks super easy and convenient, just I'm a bit hungry, whoop, like get in there, get like a little burger or something, and like you don't think about that, but like you track that for a week, it adds up big time,
So I think, I hope that was pretty good. I hope that you learned something new. This was our first episode of the podcast. If you like it, we'll keep going with other topics on fitness and health and nutrition, okay? And that was it. So eat clean and
be healthy.
be healthy. And see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Bye.
Chakra.